Hello, welcome to the Corner Cafe. A table for one?
Yes, please. Just for me.
Right this way. Here is your menu. Can I get you a drink to start?
Yes, I'll have a glass of water, please.
Of course. Are you ready to order your food?
Yes, I am. I'd like the chicken salad, please.
Excellent choice. Anything else for you?
No, that's all, thank you.
Excuse me, could I have the bill, please?
Certainly. Here you are.
Thank you.
Okay, that was our dialogue.
Yes. Did you understand what happened? A woman went to a cafe. She ordered a drink and some food. Then she asked for the bill. It was a simple, normal situation.
Right. So now let's look at the language. We will go through the conversation line by line. Lana, can you read the first line from the waiter?
Of course. The waiter said, "Hello, welcome to the Corner Cafe. A table for one?"
Okay, so a table for one, this is a very common question. The waiter wants to know how many people are in your group.
If you are with a friend, there are two of you. So the waiter will ask, "A table for two?" Or you can say, "A table for two, please."
Exactly. You just say the number of people. A table for 3, please. A table for 4, please. Very easy.
And what did the customer say in reply, Mike?
She said, yes, please, just for me. This means she is alone, one person.
Right. Simple and polite. Okay, let's move to the next part. The waiter then says, "Right this way. Here is your menu. Can I get you a drink to start?"
Okay, there are a few useful things here. First, right this way. This just means follow me. The waiter is showing the customer to her table.
Follow me, right. And then he says, "Here is your menu." The menu is the list of food and drinks in the restaurant.
Yes, and then the important question, can I get you a drink to start? This means, do you want to order a drink now before the food?
To start. It's very common to order a drink first while you look at the menu and decide what to eat.
So how does the customer answer?
She says, "Yes, I'll have a glass of water, please." This is a perfect way to order something. I'll have.
I'll have. This is a contraction of I will. It's very natural to say, I'll have a coffee or I'll have an orange juice.
Totally. And notice she says a glass of water. We use this for many drinks. A glass of wine, a glass of juice.
Right. For hot drinks, we usually say a cup of. For example, I'll have a cup of tea, please.
A cup of tea. That sounds nice right now. Okay, so the waiter brings the water. Then he asks the next question. Of course. Are you ready to order your food?
Are you ready to order? A very important question. Sometimes you are not ready. You need more time.
That's true. What can you say if you need more time, Mike?
You can say something like, not yet, thank you. Or, can I have another minute, please? That's very polite.
Yes, another minute. Good one. But in our dialogue, the customer is ready. She says, "Yes, I am. I'd like the chicken salad, please."
Okay, so here is another great phrase for ordering. I'd like. This is a contraction of I would like. I'd like the chicken salad.
I would like. It is a very polite and soft way to ask for something. So we have I'll have and I'd like. Both are perfect for ordering.
They are. You can choose the one you feel more comfortable with. And always remember to say please. It makes a big difference.
Of course, please is magic. The waiter thinks the chicken salad is a good idea. He says, "Excellent choice. Anything else for you?"
Anything else for you? This means, do you want to order more food or drinks? Maybe you want some bread or a side salad or another drink.
Exactly. But the customer is happy with her choice. She says, "No, that's all. Thank you."
That's all. A simple and clear way to say you are finished ordering. You don't want anything more. Perfect.
That's a great point, Mike. But what if the customer doesn't know what to order? The menu can be long and confusing sometimes.
Excellent question. It's very common to feel a bit lost when looking at a menu in a new place. In that situation, it's a great idea to ask for a recommendation.
Exactly. It's perfectly okay to ask the waiter for help. You can say something simple like, "What do you recommend?" The waiter knows the food well and can suggest something delicious.
That's great advice. Another easy question you can ask is, what's popular or what's the special today? The special is a dish that is not on the regular menu and is only available for a short time. It's often very good.
That's a great point. Now, what happens if something goes wrong? It's not common, but sometimes the food isn't quite right. That can be a very stressful situation if you don't know what to say. Right, so the customer eats her delicious chicken salad, and now she's finished with her meal. It is time to pay. This is a very important part.
It is. How do you get the waiter's attention?
Well, you should try to make eye contact. Look at the waiter. When they look at you, you can smile or raise your hand a little, and then you say the magic words. What does she say, Mike?
She says, "Excuse me, could I have the bill, please?"
Ah, yes. This phrase is your key to freedom. Let's break it down. Excuse me is the polite way to get someone's attention.
Right. And then, could I have? This is another very polite way to ask for something. It's similar to I'd like.
Yes. And finally, the bill. The bill is the piece of paper that shows how much money you need to pay.
That's right. In American English, people often say check. So you might hear, "Could I have the check, please?" But bill is understood everywhere.
Good point. So to repeat the full phrase, excuse me, could I have the bill, please? Everyone listening, try to say that with us. Could I have the bill, please?
Great practice. The waiter replies, "Certainly. Here you are."
Certainly is a formal and polite way to say yes or of course. And here you are is what you say when you give something to someone.
Exactly. You might hear "here you go" as well. They mean the same thing. And finally, the customer just says, "Thank you."
Simple, polite, perfect. And that's the end of the conversation. Wow, Mike, that was a lot of great information.
I agree. Let's do a quick recap, a quick review of the most important phrases we learned today.
Good idea. Okay, so when you enter a restaurant, you might say, "A table for two, please."
Right. When you want to order food or drinks, you can say, "I'll have a coffee, please."
Or you can say, "I'd like the pasta, please."
If you need more time to decide, you can say, "Can I have another minute, please?"
And when you are finished and ready to pay, the most important phrase is, "Could I have the bill, please?" That was a really helpful recap, Mike, and I think our listeners are much more prepared to order in a restaurant. But there's something else that can be tricky for learners, the cultural differences. Things that are normal in one country might be surprising in another.
That's a fantastic point, Lana. Knowing the language is one thing, but understanding the local customs or etiquette is another. It can really help you feel more comfortable. Let's talk about some of those differences, especially between the US and the UK.
Great idea. Let's start with something everyone thinks about at the end of the meal, tipping. How much money to leave for the waiter?
Yes, the big question of tipping. In the United States, this is a very, very important part of eating out. The salary for waiters is often not very high, so they depend on tips to make a living.
All this talk about food reminds me of something else in English that can be fun. Idioms.
Great idea, Lana. Idioms are fun phrases where the words together have a special meaning. The meaning is different from the single words, and there are so many idioms about food.
Exactly. Let's share a few. The first one is a piece of cake.
A piece of cake. I love cake, but this idiom doesn't mean you're eating cake. It means something is very, very easy.
That's right. For example, if your English homework is easy, you can say, "The homework was a piece of cake."
Perfect example. Or, "I thought the test would be hard, but it was a piece of cake." It means the test was very easy.
Okay, here's another one. Food for thought.
Food for thought. This sounds more serious. It means something that makes you think seriously. An idea to think about.
Yes. For example, our conversation about cultural differences is good food for thought. It gives our listeners something important to think about before they travel.
Exactly. Or a friend might say, "His story about his travels gave me food for thought." It means you're thinking about his story and what you can learn from it.
All right, let's do one more. This one is really fun. To spill the beans.
Spill the beans? Like beans from a can falling on the floor?
No, not really. To spill the beans means to tell a secret. When you tell someone a secret, you spill the beans.
Ah, I see. So
That
it
makes
makes
you
you think seriously. An idea to think about.
Yes. For example, our conversation about cultural differences is good food for thought. It gives our listeners something important to think about before they travel.
Exactly. Or a friend might say, his story about his travels gave me food for thought. It means you are thinking about his story and what you can learn from it.
All right, let's do one more. This one is really fun. To spill the beans.
Spill the beans. Like beans from a can falling on the floor?
No, not really. To spill the beans means to tell a secret. When you tell someone a secret, you spill the beans.
Ah, I see. So if my friend has a surprise party for his brother and I tell his brother about it, I spilled the beans.
Exactly, you told the secret. Or you can ask someone, come on, spill the beans. What did he say? It's a fun way to ask someone to tell you something secret.
A piece of cake, food for thought, and spill the beans. Those are great idioms to know, and they make your English sound more natural.
They do, and that was a fun little extra lesson for today.
That was fun. Now we have one final practice for you. This is your chance to use the phrases we learned today. That was fun. Now that we've learned so many phrases, I think it's time for our listeners to practice. That's a fantastic idea, Lana. Practice is the best way to build confidence. Let's do a quick role play for our listeners. I'll be the customer and you can be the waiter. Perfect summary, Lana. You know, I think it would be helpful to listen to the dialogue one more time. Now that our listeners understand all the vocabulary, it will sound much clearer.
That's a fantastic idea. Okay, everyone, let's listen to the conversation in the cafe one last time.
Hello, welcome to the Corner Cafe. A table for one?
Yes, please, just for me.
Right this way. Here's your menu. Can I get you a drink to start?
Yes, I'll have a glass of water, please.
Of course. Are you ready to order your food?
Yes, I am. I'd like the chicken salad, please.
Excellent choice. Anything else for you?
No, that's all, thank you. Excuse me, could I have the bill, please?
Certainly. Here you are.
Thank you.
See? Much easier the second time, I hope. The most important thing is to practice. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. People will understand and help you.
That's the best advice. Confidence comes from practice. And that brings us to the end of our episode for today. We hope you found it helpful.
If you enjoyed our podcast, please think about subscribing so you don't miss our next episodes.
Yes, and if you can leave a like, a comment, it helps us so much. It means other English learners, just like you, can find us more easily.
That's right. Thank you all so much for listening today. It was a lot of fun.
It was. Join us next time for another episode of Your English Podcast. Until then, keep practicing.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.